Good racing there.
And here is a much anticipated event, I'm sure. It's a really fun event to watch as always. The men's 8, they go so fast and really exciting racing.
Okay, so yeah, just to set the lanes here, we got in lane 1, University of Guelph. Can't recall if ever seeing a University of Guelph men's 8.
Yeah, that's awesome that they made the A final. So
Yeah,
hopefully
really.
they can put in a good race here.
And right beside them in lane 2, the hosts here from University of Victoria. Lane 3, University of British Columbia, winners of the time trial. In lane 4, second place in from Western University, lane 4. Lane 5, Brock Badgers and U of T in lane 6, rounding out the field here in the A final, the men's 8. That will be coming up shortly.
So this is the same scenario. So a lot of these athletes, or 2 athletes from probably every boat, will be racing again in the pair later today. But I'm sure they're not thinking about that right now. They just want to go for the gold medal in the 8 because that's a really fun event to win when you have so many people and so much excitement in the boat.
Okay,
those coxies are ready to
look at all those people.
ready to go.
That's a great shot, looking at across all the lanes there, and seeing the bows of all those Hudson USPs lined up.
And Terry, as a former coxie, what are you thinking about right now when you're at the start line?
Well, I mean, when you're in the coxswain, your job's to kind of keep everybody calm and focused on the first 3 strokes off the line. That's all you got to focus on. You just want to be positive and let them know that they've trained well and to be aggressive and go for it and not be afraid of
racing is the
what's
fun
gonna
part.
What's going to happen down the track. So always just trying to be reassuring and calm, but also really getting them focused on really dialed in those first 3 strokes to get away clean.
Yeah. Those 3 strokes can make a really big difference in an 8. Everyone starts so fast, and if you get down a little bit, it's hard to mentally keep the faith that you can claw yourself back in it, because those 8s go off really quick.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a stat around something like 96% of the time, the crew that's leading at 500 meters is a crew that's going to win.
In 8s or
in the 8?
More so in 8s than in small boats.
So I mean, the 8, most of the events, but certainly in the 8, it's a bit of a drag race. People are going flat out. There's not really a lot of settling. Yes, of course, you have to settle down into a rhythm that you can sustain through the middle of the course and try to have a platform that you can build into the finish.
Yeah.
But in terms of your boat speed, you're going flat out and you're trying to maintain that speed as long as you can. So see the athletes obviously a little bit nervous, a little tense right here just before the start. Got that U of T crew right on the inside lane here. Guy in the yellow hat, I saw him in the pair earlier in just a few minutes. No, he wasn't in the pair.
This UBC boat, I think, is stroked by Carl Zimmerman. He won the single earlier this morning, so that's an interesting call, putting an athlete that's already raced in stroke seat. It's a pretty crucial position, and someone that you need to be very, very lively and ready to go the whole race. So hopefully he's had a good cool down and another good warm up.
Yeah.
And he's gunning for another gold medal. So.
Well, it's his Carl's first year rowing for UBC. I mean, Carl rowed not that long ago for McMaster and had a pretty success. I think he got a bronze medal a few years ago.
He's definitely medaled in the single before, but
he rowed the single.
This was his first win, so.
And the pair rowing for McMaster, so he's now at UBC. I know he's taking a master's program.
He's also a decorated U23 athlete, coming away with a U23 gold, which is a pretty impressive accomplishment from 2015 in the men's quad. So he has a lot of experience both sculling and sweeping, and I'm sure having him on the team, obviously his rowing is good, but I'm sure as a leader, having so much experience that's pretty invaluable to be around for the younger athletes to look up to him.
Yeah, and Carl's such a positive kind of force. He's a little goofy, but he's so positive and he's so energized about rowing, and he really enjoys it, and he doesn't take himself too seriously.
Yeah.
So he's just a perfect guy to have. I'm sure Coach Pierce appreciates certainly his experience, and
that's quite a good recruit to have.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, that's a nice shot here, zooming into Elk Lake. Here you get a shot of there's our home base, Elk Lake. You'll see the course going down from point 1, 1,850 meters straight across, finishing up right in front of the docks here in the boathouse at Elk Lake. getting ready to go here. I wouldn't think that it'll be
So
5 minutes and maybe 15 seconds for these men's eights over 1850.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We've got quite good conditions. A little bit of a crosswind starting to popple up here, but the water's still very flat and very good conditions for rowing.
So this event has also been pretty dominated by the West Coast for the last few years, or at least in my memory. UBC has put together a lot of wins, and UVic has snuck in there one or two times. But I'm sure Western would love to have a crack at taking the top of that podium in the men's 8. But UBC, I don't know how many years in a row they've won this, but I'm sure they want to make it one more. This will be a really good race.
Hopefully these boys are able to stay focused here. They look so far about 4 minutes delayed on their start. Surprised not to see this race off.
Sitting there, you can sometimes you get worried about getting a little cold in the winter. Just sitting there, you want your muscles to be really warm and ready to go. But hopefully they just need to stay mentally ready to go and stay calm and listen to their coxie. Hopefully they look like they're ready to go soon.
The 5-man looks like he needs a little more length on his legs. There they go. That's U of T's Tarek Bean, strong guy. And they're off. Wow, great, good start. Awesome sight to see these crews all going for it. And there's not one crew in there, one athlete that's not feeling like they've got a chance to win this and really want to go for it. So a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, good boat speed. It looks to be lane 3 out front. That's UBC's bow, just hitting the front. Out in front of maybe just slightly over lane 2 UVic. 2, 4, 5, all pretty tight. That's the Badgers from Brock, Western in lane 4, and UVic out in lane 2. So it's just a slight, not much in it between those 3 crews, and maybe just a couple of seats with UBC leading.
Those guys in the middle of those boats, that's an exciting place to be. You don't really know if you're up a seat or down a seat. You just see that you can sense the energy, and the guys in the bow, they're starting to get a bit of a view from UBC, so that's really advantageous at this point in the race, and hopefully they can all just keep going as hard as they can, and we'll have a good race.
We got Brendan Wall up there in 2 seat. He's a former Vic City athlete here, so he's very familiar with the conditions here on Elk Lake, and he's probably breathing a little easier out there, as you say, in 2 seat, looking like he's out front of the whole field. So
that's always. I haven't raced back there very much because they usually put the smaller people back there, but from what I've heard, it's fun to go for a ride in bow pair.
Okay, so we see that's lane 6 U of T. The Badgers in 5, onto Western. Out front for sure from here, looks like UBC. In 3, 2 is UVic. And in bow, we have the University of, in lane 1 is University of Guelph.
Interesting to see UBC out so far ahead early on in the race at the Western University Championships. I had heard that it was UVic who had the early lead over UBC.
UBC's at 37 strokes a minute. It looks to be being corrected and steering a little bit to port side. Look at just a minute, just a few seconds ago, we saw a shot. The Western blades were very close to clashing with UBC.
So both of those coxswains need to be aware of their line. Patricia Yee from UBC and James Doyle. Oh, Ben Kozak from Western, the coxswains. Nope, just kidding.
Wow! Look at the lane. Look at the overhead shot here. We got that crew in lane 3. That's UBC. Having a difficult time with their steering.
That's hard also when you're in the 8. It's not your job to, when you're rowing in the 8, it's not your job to think about the steering, but sometimes when it's not going well, it's hard to not be distracted by it. So that's the coxswain's job to do it properly.
Well, it seems not affecting them too much. They got about 3/4 of a length advantage over that crew from Western University. The UBC boys are a little bit creative with their course pattern, but they've obviously got some good athletes in there and good speed. Hopefully that doesn't come back to... They're definitely in the center of that lane. You see how there's Western and UBC are sharing that center lane, and they've got a long way to go on their port side oars to their port side buoy line. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Western potentially launch a protest at the end of this.
I actually stand corrected. Stroking that UBC boat is not Carl Zimmerman. It's Ryan Beach, and he's sat in stroke seat for a few years for UBC, so that's good to have an experienced guy up there. But Carl's back in 5 seat. So
Western on the move. That's 1,000 meters here. UBC big lead, but Western is rolling through the 1,000 here. They were down a length, and they have now closed it up to about half a length and are closing. And the energy in that boat. I mean, tell us about the energy. How do you feel?
Kaylee, when we've had a few good races in the 8s. What's going through your head when you're stroking an 8 and you feel that you're moving up on a crew like that?
Oh, especially on stroke seat, I'm directly facing the coxswain, and I listen to their calls and I hear their energy. And for us also in our boat, quite often in our 8s, we have Christine Roper, and she'll let out a little raw or something, and that always pumps me up, and I just want more.
In the middle of the boat get fired up and they say some things, it's exciting to be in there, and it fires everyone up, and you can make the boat go a lot faster by doing that.
You got Curtis Ames probably saying something right now because he's stroking that Western 8, and they are moving up.
Yeah.
Coming in here, we got 2:50 to go into the red buoys. UBC still maintaining a lead, but Western is rolling.
A lot of support here for UVic, for UBC, and Western. It's great to see so many fans out.
That looks like about 2/3 of a length for UBC over Western, so I think UBC saw that move and probably pushed it back a little bit here. Looks like that's going to be at least a half a length advantage there. 5:31 through the finish line for UBC with about 2-second lead over Western, followed by UVic in third. And Badgers fourth from Brock. And it'll be Guelph or U of T coming in here at the finish.
You can't see after the finish line, but those 8s are going to have to hold pretty
close
fast.
one. U of T, I think, just over Guelph.
Yeah. So those boats have to hold really fast because the lake runs out pretty quickly, and no one wants to beach their boat on the shore.
It looks like they're on the beach there from that drone shot.